Welcome back. In this session, we'd like to welcome Dr. Rebecca Bailey, a professor of history, and she will have two of her students lead a discussion about what they did and what the experience was like.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Bailey, and with me today are Katrina Kursell, Rebecca Gallaher, and Hailey McElhiney. And we're going to share our experiences as the Fall 2023 Diverse Appalachia Mayerson and Impacting KU Student Philanthropy Project. To begin, I'm going to have these amazing young women share their experiences of working on the Student Philanthropy Project. And we'll begin with Rebecca. Rebecca, tell our friends with us today about what this has meant for you personally, academically, and professionally.
For starters, I haven't had the opportunity to work with hands-on experiences in the Appalachian region. I'm from Appalachia, born and raised in a small town in Kentucky, and throughout my entire academic experience, I never, like I said, had the option to really get boots on the ground and make a difference. And my last semester here, I joined this class and was blown away at the opportunity to really get involved in these communities. Each institution really had different missions, but it still hit home for the Appalachian in my heart. So professionally, it also, like I said, it just really rounded out my educational experience here and just meant the world to me and my Appalachian roots.
Thank you. And Trina, you were our Student Philanthropy Project team leader. Why don't you tell those with us today about everything from how we named the project to how the project really enriched our class?
Yes, so I was one of the team leaders. Our other one who wasn't here today was Maddie Keekler, and we both paired up and really tried working together with our two teams and our two different partners. Our partners were the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center and the West Virginia Mine Wars Museum. And so my team was with the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center, and we called it Enriching Appalachia. And so what we wanted to do was, as I quote Rebecca, to work from a place of power, not pity. And so we wanted to show these places as how amazing they are and how they don't just help the history, but they help the community as a whole by creating an economic engine there.
Okay. And Hailey, why don't you tell our audience just how much money we raised and all of the different things that you all did?
Okay, so we, first of all, blew it out of the park with raising money, which was great. This was our first project of the semester. We were still, not comfortable with each other. And this cemented us as a group, as a forever group, which was great for me because I was new to this school and I now have, best friends for life. So our original goal was for $2,000, and we, in 5 days, got that, which was fantastic. So we were like, all right, we're reaching for the moon. Our next goal is $3,000. And we hit that just before our mark. So we were like, all right, let's try a little bit more. And I believe we raised $3,700, which was fantastic. So yeah, it was great to work with each other, in a project that was hands-on for us and hands-on for helping the community, actually providing something for an institution and not just the regular college learned information regurgitated. We got work experience, we grew passion for these people, which helped in our further projects for this class. And yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for that. Just to add a little bit more detail for some of the educators in the audience, the focus of our class, the class title was Diverse Appalachia, Social Media and Museums. And I'm really dating myself when I say this, but I predate social media. So I think what was really wonderful was, and forgive me for this shameless pitch, I was not part of the team that produced it, but the Scripps Howard Center, the handbook that they have for civic engagement and student philanthropy really helps instructors create a system and a system of guardrails that once you get that in place, and you set students loose on a project, how they bring prior knowledge from their personal lives in social media to their personal passions and interests, it's a wonder to behold. So as an educator, speaking from my heart to the educators in our audience, if your personal goal is to create a way for your students to become your teacher, you need to do this, because I have never been prouder of it. We were tiny but mighty. There were, what the young women haven't mentioned yet is 5 of them raised $3,700. We raised $2,700 thanks to the Mayerson Foundation that matched our initial 1,000 raised. Does anyone remember what our partners are going to do with the $1,850 each of them received?
For the Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center, they actually have a program where they teach local students about how to play Appalachian music and instruments. And so it's really cool. So it's going to that after-school program to use to buy new instruments, strings for the instruments, and also for scholarships for the students.
And then our other community partner, the Mine Wars Museum, is creating an interview room because they want to collect oral histories of the people in town and what those current residents remember about their ancestors and how they helped build the town and give it the character it has.
So how did our projects reflect what you learned about diversity in Appalachia?
Our project definitely took us down some rabbit holes because we fell in love with these institutions and wanted to, now that we gave them money, we want to do everything for them.
It's like our baby, almost.
Yes.
I can't let go. Technically, I graduated, and I just can't let go of it, so...
So talk about stewardship. What did you all learn about stewardship from this experience?
I mean, it showed how important it was to really represent the ones, especially in Appalachia, as someone who's also from Appalachia. A lot of times they get pushed over and, just don't see their history as something that's important. And so it's really cool for us to learn how to kind of show underrepresented groups, and not just Appalachia as a whole, but the subgroups and minorities in Appalachia.
It's a really great point. So I learned actually that I'm from northern Appalachia. I'm born and raised in upstate New York. So I took this class as wanting to learn about my new region, and it really gave me kind of a sense of identity of these are my new people, but these have always been my people, and I haven't learned about them before. And learning about the deep history roots and first learning about the stereotypes and how they happened and how they're untrue, but how we got here and these understandings, and then looking into these two towns, because Great Smoky Mountains is in Tennessee, Mine Wars Museum is in West Virginia, and they both have deep roots that are very different from each other, but also connect in a very lovely way.
It was also an interesting challenge to tell these institutions' stories and their missions from a positive point. Typically, when you see Appalachia in media, it's very sad, or people pity us, or, it's a negative light. But our whole goal here was, like she said again, we worked from power and not pity. We are proud to be in the Appalachian region and to be Appalachian. And to give back to the region and the communities was such an honor. We learned so much. And it also just goes to show that the Appalachian region is very diverse. We're under one name, but very, very a diverse region.
If Maddie were here with us, because Maddie joined us from organizational leadership, which is the specialization of several other participants today, do you all remember some of the skills that Maddie would list off that you all were learning and polishing from this experience?
Yeah, one of the big ones she used, which I'd never heard of, but the organizational leadership department really like pressed on her, was like the 5 W's. And so like, why are we doing this? Who are we doing it for? What are we doing this? And so on. And so that was something like she'd always, every time we hit like a little pothole in the road, she'd be like, remember the 5 W's. I'm like, oh, this makes sense.
It was great to have her as a leader because she very much brought that aspect of like, all right, let's go back to the basics. Like, what is the mission? Why are we doing this? Like, what is the heart and soul of this whole thing? And she had a lot of like organizational systems that we hadn't thought of. So her herself was great. Can take that away from this class of like how to be a better student, how to be more organized.
Also, working with professional institutions, you have to be professional, especially whenever we were using our social medias and interacting with the public for a museum that we didn't directly work for. We had to be careful and tread waters differently than you would on a normal like Facebook post. So that was also a big thing Maddie would remind us about, is just how to interact in a professional setting.
To start summing up, what is one takeaway for each of you that this experience let you tap into something that you hadn't tapped into in other classes?
I mean, for me, it gave me so much. I mean, a lot of times, kind of how Hailey said, we regurgitate the information, but in this sense, it's like you're actually doing something that matters. It's real work, and it's not like, you know, a figurative place that you're helping. It's like real people, and it actually matters. And so it was so amazing experience.
Becca added something to her resume that is real, fundraising. And Hailey actually chose what she was going to do for graduate school, right?
Yeah, so this class definitely was an eye-opener for me because I was going between like going into like working in a library or working in a museum, and this class was like, I want to be with the people. I want to make these big changes in the world. I want to be a public historian. So that was fantastic to be able to, you know, narrow down my options and really find my passion point.
And they now have a new name. They bonded so tightly. They're now officially the Shield Maidens.
Yeah. We got so deep into this that we have matching sweatshirts.
Yes.
We hang out monthly. We are the little nerds that will go to museums together.
We have crocheted shields and swords that hang in our cars. We now got 3D printed little swords for like bookmarks, and so, yeah.
That is also called networking. This bond will be forever.
Oh, yeah. We're going to continue to grow this relationship.
Yeah. And it's awesome that we're all at different stages. Like, none of us are the same age. All of us are graduating at different points or already graduated, even though we don't accept that fact.
No. She's forever a undergraduate graduate.
Yeah. We're taking away your math degree.
Please don't.
So there's magic in this experience. And NKU Scripps Howard Center and the Mayerson Family Foundation have created a framework that all you need to do is borrow it, jump on the ride, and you'll bring a bunch of great students along with you. And it'll be one of the most rewarding experiences of their life. So thank you for letting us share today.
It's been a great experience.
Yes.
I could have never imagined I would move 800 miles away from my home and end up with 5 best friends.
To find your new home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's never leaving. We've kidnapped her.
With New York gas prices, I can't. I can't afford it.
Wow, what an amazing panel. I've just have been getting chills up my arms the whole time you've been speaking. And while it's just a small example, I wanted to let you know that I was so inspired. So I'm the faculty coordinator, and we had our awards ceremony, and we watched and heard about your investments and all the hard work that you've been doing. And just on a personal note, I was so inspired, as I often am, with the hard work and the amazing work that students do semester after semester. But I actually went to the museum outside of Knoxville, so the Great Smoky Mountain, or the Great Smoky Mountain Museum, and I was told by Dr. Bailey that I could easily spend a day there, and I thought, okay, well, I usually am a fast museum walker, although I love museums. I could have spent a week there. I was so captivated. So everyone in the audience, you need to go to that museum. It is amazing. And I learned so much. I'm from Minnesota originally, so a little far away from that region, but I had so much fun learning, and I just thought about your class the whole time. So sorry, a little off topic, but I'm so proud of all of you, and thanks for your hard work, truly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.